I don't know. I'm sure some people are sensitive.
You want to
it,
be
so-
sworn to? You want to be sworn to?
Oh, I'm sorry. You were ready? Okay. Welcome to the Township of Sparta Environmental Commission meeting of Thursday, January 11th, 2024. It is 7:03, and we are starting the meeting. We are live in the council chambers at the municipal building and also on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Sparta Township/streams. Please take notice that action will be taken on the following items at the Sparta Environmental Commission meeting today. The meeting is called to order. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 5th, 2024, by delivering to the press and posting on the township website. So our first order of business tonight is to swear in our two new members today. They are alternative chair members. And Dan is going to take the lead on that one. You want Robin?
We need a Bible. Right. There is. Okay, please place your left hand on the Bible and repeat after me after I get my glasses. Okay, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Robert Otto,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially, and lawfully
impartially, and lawfully
carry out my duties
carry out my duties
as an alternate member of the Environmental Commission
as an alternate member of the Environmental Commission
of the Township of Sparta, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey,
of the Township of Sparta, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey,
in accordance with the laws and Constitution
in accordance with the laws and Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the State of New Jersey.
and of the State of New Jersey.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome, Rob.
So 3 questions. Would you like to serve?
There's the secret badge.
Are you comfortable with the Bible? Yep. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. So please repeat after me. Put your right hand on the Bible or left hand on the Bible. You have to hold your right hand up. That's right. There we go. Okay. I state your name.
I, Landon Tanieri,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and lawfully
that I will faithfully, impartially, and lawfully
carry out my duties
carry out my duties
as an alternate member of the Environmental Commission
as an alternate member of the Environmental Commission
of the Township of Sparta, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey,
of the Township of Sparta, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey,
in accordance with the laws and Constitution
in accordance with the laws and Constitution
of the United States and of the State of New Jersey.
of the United States and of the State of New Jersey.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Welcome, Landon. You wanna
Sorry
do-
about that, Dan.
Okay.
Do roll call. Who's gonna?
Councilman Daniel Sharella?
I am present.
Chairwoman Kimberly Knoll?
Here.
Vice Chair Neil Sarowine?
Here,
Sorry if I'm butchering the name.
got it right.
Christine Dunbar?
Here.
Ken Gao?
Here.
Christine Rogers?
Here.
Linda Tower? Barbara Kozlowski,
Here.
Landon Teneri,
Here.
Robert Otto,
Here.
All right, thank you. All right, please join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have no minutes to approve tonight, and moving on to correspondence. So there is an intent to file a TWA with the New Jersey DEP for a lot on Under Rock Road, 87 Under Rock Road in Sparta. Christine Dunbar was kind enough to share a advanced property report that she was able to pull from the Highlands Council. It does have a petition associated with it for preservation area only. Anything else in the report that you wanted to point out, Christine?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I just thought I would check to see where the property was. And I was very surprised to see how close it was to valuable water resources. In fact, the property for the TWA is actually uphill from many C1 streams within 700 feet as measured. So I wasn't aware of that. And I always learn something when, we're sent an application to review. And this goes into Arapahoe Lake, it seems, and then it goes down towards Glen Lake and meets from the outflow of Glen Lake. And then it becomes the Glen Brook, Sparta Glen Brook. So it is, has direct drainage, right into all of those that I mentioned, plus everything feeding Arapahoe Lake, and the Glen Brook tributary are all C1 streams, including the Sunset Lake area and the lake that's above Sunset Lake that drains into it. So I found that very informative and very helpful in the future as we look at these properties and their plans for them.
So I think we can certainly share this report in response. Is that probably a good idea?
I think it's a good idea, but I'm really unclear what they're doing at the property. I don't understand what they're doing, and I was hoping that somebody would be able to explain that. Are they just putting in a septic system? Is that what is going on?
They're either putting one in or they're, I think what they're just updating it or doing some work to it. I don't believe it's a net news septic system.
Well, that's great if they're updating it
Yeah.
after what I've seen. Yeah.
Anybody have any other comments, questions?
So the council passed an ordinance, a resolution Tuesday that will require, that it allows the township managers to sign off for the township. Obviously, after it is reviewed with the engineer and other building department professionals. I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay.
Now, will this go to the planning board or to the town council or
No.
to both?
No, to neither. It goes through the professionals, the engineer and the township, the building and probably the building inspector at some point, maybe just the engineer, but ultimately the township manager will sign off as consenting for the TWA. Now, the TWA itself gets approved by the state, by the NJDEP. What the township manager will do is to provide consent that the township consents this to go on to the NJDEP. So ultimately, they have the authority.
This one,
Good to know, thank you.
this one.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. We had no applications to review to date, and so we're moving to public comment. Oh, we gotta turn that around. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good evening. I was here at the last Environmental Commission meeting.
I'm sorry, but
But-
can you state your name and address?
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
record?
yeah. But I'll reintroduce myself again. My name is Ethan Melnizak. I'm a New Jersey AmeriCorps watershed ambassador for the Wallkill River. What I wanted to talk about today was I was reading over the Sustainable Jersey initiatives, and I saw one possible avenue under education outreach for rain barrel workshops. My program can provide food grade rain barrels for that, and I can coordinate initiative with the community to do that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and so I'd be excited to work on that, as well as in-stream lessons or environmental stewardship trainings, where I would teach community members how to do stream assessments. And then I am also able to do talk about Salt Watch that was discussed at the last lesson with the Watershed Institute.
Yeah.
So each of those is worth 5 points for Sustainable Jersey. So if either we want to add that, if you guys want to, if the committee would want to add that into the agenda today, or I'm also available to talk next meeting or via phone or email
Okay.
about pursuing this. So that's what I can offer. I also wanted to propose the committee look into the Buy Fresh, Buy Local program, which was an initiative where the township gathers farms and other businesses that sell local produce and make that available to the community. And that would be worth 10 points. And then for another 10 points, the committee could integrate green challenges where community members take a pledge to do several different environmental related things. But one of those was to buy more local produce. So that would be another 10 points if 2.5% of Sparta, or about 500 community members signed that pledge. And then the reason I'm such a big fan of the Buy Fresh, Buy Local program is because I feel like it's a win-win for everyone. The Environmental Committee gets points for Sustainable Jersey. Farmers and other businesses are able to get free promotion, and consumers are made aware of what businesses and farmer markets sell local produce. So that's all I had for today, but I also left my business card here. And we can also talk after once the meeting's adjourned, to go into more specifics about the rain barrel workshop that I discussed.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're planning a series of learning for the community this coming year, so that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to be a part of that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. Nobody else from the public is here, so moving on to reports. Who would like to go first? Christine, you want to go first?
I don't really have anything to report. We've just been very busy, and that's all I'd like to say right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Pick me.
Okay, Dan.
From the council side, we have a new mayor and a new mayor emeritus, I might add.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, for your service.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back. Mr. Deputy Mayor Blumetti is getting quite busy, and so we asked to make this change, and it's welcome for me because I always enjoyed being a part of the group. So two other things I'd like to mention. One is that we are preparing an ordinance change. Hopefully, we'll see it at the next council meeting to address the student liaison position on the Environmental Commission. The term was undefined, and so our attorney suggested that if we want the term to line up with the school calendar, which makes sense, that we would make a slight wording change to our ordinance to make sure that that's the case. And so, unfortunately, that's a cycle where if it does come up at the next meeting, which is the 23rd, whatever, the Tuesday, fourth Tuesday, then that's introduced on that. It'll be passed on on the second Tuesday of February. And according to state law, it takes effect 20 days after it is passed. And so it won't be until the end of February where we can actually have a named student liaison. Maybe by that time, we'll build out the dais a little bit more so we can fit everybody, because we have to slide 2 new people in here. But in any case, so this first cycle might be a little wonky. I'll ask the group, what do you prefer that cycle to be? One option would be July to July, July 1 to July 1. Another one would be September 1 to September 1, which I think makes more sense because the outgoing person could be involved in some summer programs, whereas the new person coming in doesn't really think about this until September 1st anyway. I mean, being the closest to the students, the student age, is that September 1 make sense to you?
Yeah, I was actually about to say I would have been concerned if the term would have ended in June when the school term actually ended, because that student could have been very interested and involved at that time.
Right.
And there's potentially 4 meetings until
Yeah, that's true
the
too.
next meet. So I think September to September does make
Okay.
most sense.
I'll pass that on to the attorney. Thank you. And I'd like to, are one of our updates for Sustainable Jersey? Because I'm curious to see how the 2024 cycle is working, like what our submission dates are.
So the bronze was for 3 years.
Oh, 3 years? I didn't know that. I thought it was every year. 3 years is
My
good.
understanding is we can apply to get silver anytime we're ready.
Okay.
And so we've been working on it still. We haven't dropped the ball for 3 years.
I'm not suggesting we drop the ball yet.
The submission, the first round submission deadline is February 21st.
Oh,
The sec.
that's not happening.
That's let's have this wrong, February 21st. The second round is May 10th. So we have time, and we can submit anything we want to whether we get points this year or not.
What I was going to suggest to the group, to the commission, is at the League of Municipalities meeting this past November, one of the conferences I attended was regarding was climate change. I attended a couple of climate change related semesters or seminars, and it occurred. One of the topics that came up is, everybody does their part, so to say. And so if you're in Seagate, if you're in Cherry Hill, you're in Sparta, New Jersey, And if every municipality across the country took that, the approach that, what can we do? What's the most benefit we can do in our community to help blunt the effects of climate change? I think what I would suggest is have that in mind as we look at the Sustainable Jersey programs. And I know getting to silver or gold is a ton of points. And some of those points are I think, more valuable than others. And I think what I would suggest is to weigh the most value on that, which would do the most impactful thing here. If it's planting trees, if it's solar energy, actually, farmers market is actually very important because the less your produce has to travel to get to where it's being consumed, the more the more carbon you're saving. So having a farmer's market in town is not just cool and fun, it's also impactful, has an impact on the environment. So anyway, that would be my suggestion for the Sustainable Jersey activities. I don't know if that group is still together, if the subcommittee is still together, okay? And the last thing I'll mention is that the farmer's market has kind of outgrown its place in the Sparta Wellness Center. Yeah, so it's gotten big and it needs a new home. And we've been engaged, and specifically Councilman Hertzberg has been engaged in trying to find a good home for the place. At one point we thought we could host it here in the parking lot here and across the street in front of the VFW, between this building and the VFW. Logistically, that didn't work out. So we had one farmer's market here where we closed the road down. But that's not a long-term viable option. And so we're still looking for that viable option. But just know that we're working on it. We have people working on it. We've considered a lot of things. And so that actually, I don't know if that's actually come up, but it's a good idea.
You know the field that I always notice is empty, and I don't know who owns this field? You know where the wellness center is? There's like that big empty space right in front of the Sparta Athletic Club. That field never has anything happening on it. Never has.
That is interesting. I don't know if it rains and gets mushy, if it would be cool to walk along that.
Oh, so one of the criteria is to have.
I
paved
think
surface?
so.
Okay,
Um,
all right.
We did talk about the Station Park, but that's kind of out of the way. We wanted it more downtownish. Anyway, we've kicked around a ton of suggestions, and nothing is glaringly, this is where you got to put it.
Station Park was considered in,
I think that was considered too far out of the way. Plus, it's on the weekends, and Station Park on the weekends is kind of busy. I mean, maybe not during those like a couple of summer months, but the farmers market lasts more than those, July and August. So, in any case, we have smart people working on it. Probably want to solve, and that's all I have. Thanks.
great. All right, open space planning. So I think the latest is we can officially start now that we're in 2024. Is that the case?
The resolution will be put on the 23rd
Okay.
to have the mayor sign the agreement from the Land Conservancy.
Okay. And then we can start.
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
can have some general discussions about it. It's
Okay.
going to happen, but.
Okay.
it
So it's
is-
okay to start a discussion with the, my gosh,
Subcommittee.
yeah,
With the
Okay.
vendor.
all right. Rolled salt. Christine, you
Oh,
wanna talk about that?
boy, oh, boy. Did everybody bring in their water?
I forgot my. water
Well,
today.
I have containers for you that you can bring home with you. But just to kind of start from the beginning with the road salt, the first thing that we need to have are test strips. And so I was wondering if anybody ordered their test strips and received them.
I ordered, but I did not receive. Same here.
I ordered them also.
You ordered them but haven't received? For all of you who didn't order them yet, I'd like us to go to the website right now if you want to partake in this road salt study, which is very easy to do. What you do is you go to your favorite stream and you locate a safe access to it, which is downstream from impermeable surface or a bridge that's regularly salted. And you rinse the cup out 3 times, and you hold it under the water, and you fill it, and then you just take about 3/4 of an inch. And then you'll be receiving your free test strips in the mail, and you put your test strip in for about 5 minutes, really, 5, 6, 7 minutes. And there is a finger that will go up the test strip to tell you your reading for your quantum unit. And then you have a chart that will tell you your parts per million in chloride ion, which is the same as sodium ion because it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so the idea is that we want to get sustainable Jersey points for winter salt monitoring. And this is one of the suggestions they have. They have 4 suggestions. They have that we could, and 2 of them I thought would be great. You can't earn more than 15 points for this, and it is a gold star for water for us. So this would be really great to get 15 points. So there's 4 activities. The one I am suggesting, if we agree to do it, is to participate in New Jersey Salt Watch Study, monitor for 1 winter season, present results and analysis on road salt reduction with community members. And when we sign up and get our data, create an account, and submit it, we actually have a link that we can put on the Sparta website so people can see the results of our road salt study. So that's all taken care of. That's 5 points. And that requires you to go out. You go out 2 to 3 times or 2 to 4 times a year. They reduced it. And before and after a storm, you get your chloride reading and you submit it to the Clean Water Hub website. So that's as easy as it is. So who would like to do that? And who would like to sign up to get your test strips right now?
I'll try.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask if you were planning on having can we have the green team involved also?
Absolutely.
Because I think that's a good way to get more people involved in town. And then also, is there a mechanism that we can put this information, can we have like an Excel spreadsheet or like a Google Doc where people are
I will be able to
identifying?
download all of the results in Excel. We will be able to post a map of all of the sites we're monitoring and the levels of chloride on our website.
I guess I was asking if ahead of time, before we start monitoring, to make sure that we're getting different portions of the town, would it?
Yeah, I have a map here
Okay.
that we can look at. and
Yeah, just
suggested
to make sure
places.
that everyone's covering different areas. Yeah, good.
Do you-
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Are you going to monitor? Do you live by the lake? That might be a nice place.
I have a stream that runs through my basement.
Awesome. How do you manage that? Do you want to, these are kind of neat containers. so.
I mean, do
Since
we
I'm
have to
giving-
use this one?
You don't, but it has a lid to it, which I
Yeah,
think is
but
really cool.
I have some of these at my
Okay,
house.
okay.
Thank you.
Would you like?
Yeah.
You used the one I gave you last year.
Yes.
He's a return victim.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Does it measure PCBs from the plastic?
Right?
No, so if you
Thank
could
you.
fill it about 3/4 full and then bring it back to us, maybe at our next meeting, we'll have enough test strips by then, so that we can do the test together, actually, and submit our data together. It's a little bit tricky this year with the new Clean Water Hub website I found. So, so we do want to cover all of Sparta, and as you know, I'm sure, we're a very special community in that we have 5 watersheds because we're at about 1,200 feet elevation. And we want to cover, as much of our, square mileage as we can, and we want to certainly not leave out any of our watersheds. So I didn't make copies for everyone, but I wish I would have. This
We
is
want to at
kind,
least talk through and make sure we got all of them covered? Is that?
Yeah, I
sorry,
have a
Linda.
list of suggested sites. I
Okay.
can pass that around, and if you have your phones, you can take a picture of it,
Okay.
of our 5 watersheds. So, so let me do that. In the meantime, I'll just kind of share this with you if you haven't seen it before. The Wallkill watershed is by far the largest surface area in our town. And then that's followed by the Pollenskill. And then I believe that's followed by the, either the Musconetcong or the Passaic. Did anybody see the Great Rivers on Nova, the Passaic River? Yeah, that was pretty awesome, right? I didn't realize that Sparta contributed to the Passaic River. That's pretty great. And then the smallest watershed that we have is the Pequest. So this was the sheet, if you want to take a picture of that. Now, I did go to some of those locations that are on the sheet. Each the watershed, there's about 2 or 3, up to about 7 or 8 different locations that I felt, after looking at the map, might be suitable. And the main thing, I think, is if you live in an area and you have a stream there, that's the one you want to take care of, right?
Yeah.
So you probably, have a stream in mind anyway, but if you don't, you might want to take a picture of those recommendations. And as I started to mention, I haven't gone to all of them, just about a half of them, so far, to see if they're accessible. That's the one concern, is the safety,
Yeah.
getting down to it, yeah. Particularly after it snows, as I
After
found
all
out the
this
other
water.
day. So once we decide on our sites, and then we bring in our water, then we'll have our test strips next time, and we'll go through the procedure of getting our measurements and submitting them. Now, what you can do in the meantime is you can go to, when you get your test strips, you'll get a card, and it will tell you where to create an account at the
Okay.
Clean Water Hub. And so we're going to create an account, your own account, but you must indicate that the Sparta EC is your organization.
Okay.
Okay, so then our data will go, we'll be able to look at our data together and manage it together as a unit. And also, I would appreciate it if you would also indicate, because they say you can have many organizations, if you would put down the Food Shed Alliance also, because the Food Shed Alliance is the second largest tributary that feeds into the Pollenskill. We feed into the Pollenskill River and out into the Delaware. And the reason why I'm interested in doing this is because our watershed in the upper Pollenskill, where we are in Sparta and over in Newton, is very non-compliant with Clean Water Act standards. And so this is why and I think the Wallkill, but Christine can speak to that, much of it is non-compliant also.
Correct. Wow.
All right, so there's that. So you can go ahead, in the meantime, if you get your strips and you get that card of instructions, you can go and try to create your account and indicate your organization, Sparta EC and Food Shed Alliance, and get yourself all set up. Or we can try to do it next time together after we have our measurements, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put our data in. It is tricky. That's why I think it's good if we're all together. I've been running around for the past week trying to help people figure out how to put their data in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we want to send out a notification to the green team and see if anybody's interested in participating?
Oh,
And then they could bring their water next time and,
join us during our meeting?
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. So now that's 5 points, and all of us are engaged in this, so it's really great, that we would be doing it. But we want to get the 15 points. And so there's another thing we can do, and that's mentioned in our in our 4 activities we can choose from. There's workforce training. That's 5 points. I am not able to do workforce training. I don't know about any of you, but that involves ensuring that municipal staff involved in road salt application are trained. So that is a possibility, but that's 5 points. The one that I would like to see done for 10 points is to create and submit a road salt inventory. And I can pass that around, but what it does, it involves us going and sitting down with the new head of the DPW and perhaps the town manager, and because he will know the answers to these things, and they need to fill it out so we can see how our road salt is being managed. So would anybody like to do that with me?
I'll do that with you.
Will you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would like to know, I'll pass this around, just let me pass it down to Dan so he can take a look at it. I know that our new town manager would be able to answer a lot of these questions, as well as the new DPW head, right? So I don't know quite where to start. Would it be with the town manager, or would it be with?
I would start with the town manager.
The town manager, and, okay.
Do you have an electronic copy of this?
We
Okay.
can forward it, yep.
Yeah, thanks. But do you want to see it?
So that would be 10 points. Yeah, and from there, we can, everybody would understand how we're managing our salt, and if we have any problem spots, or at least if we don't, that's great, because we have baseline data for the future.
Yep.
Yeah, and we can just go from there in terms of providing suggestions or guidance for our town.
Okay.
Yep.
I know there are folks, Landon and Rob, you didn't get the presentation that she shared with us, but I'll make sure you get a copy of that too.
So, question regarding this. Were you able to connect with any of the municipalities that already did it, get the points or anything like that, or not yet?
Are you referring to last year's data?
No, to doing the trainings, let's say, for the workers.
Well,
We mentioned that we might be able to connect with other towns, maybe South Jersey, that already did that already have that the points for the
I think that they might already have done the training that's required, because they're probably sent a requirement every year of the latest trainings that the managers have to go to.
Yeah, but do we know which one or?
Well, I'm sure there's a record of it. I'm sure the town manager and the DPW would have a record of all of the trainings. So that would be 5 points. But then we would have to do a third one to get our 15 points. And that would be to outline a plan for best management practices. So we would have to come up with a schedule for the future and how we were going to improve for the future, which is great, and that's what we should be doing. But I've always wanted to understand what we're doing now, so I'll know what we have to, perhaps the town council has to budget for in the future to bring us up to the best we can be.
Yeah.
I think what you were referencing is what I had said last meeting with the train the trainer idea.
Yes.
Because I'm sure they go through a lot of trainings, but I think we started talking about at the last meeting that there might be towns that are further along or have implemented some of these best management practices. So we should be checking in to see what town could maybe serve as a model for the employees of Sparta.
So
Thank
we can-
you.
Be able to find that out on the Sustainable Jersey website, because
Right.
they have,
Right,
the-
so yeah, so I didn't check with the Sustainable Jersey, but they have a whole section of references in the back of the action. And they're all like from places like Minnesota and the Midwest and the northern parts. So the watershed group that has the most impact and that is the most informed, I feel, is the Musconetcong watershed, besides you guys, the Musconetcong Watershed Association. And they put on a whole series of webinars for the past 2 years to educate everyone that, hey, we have a problem, let's start community science projects to see how bad this is before more drinking water is contaminated like it was in Knowlton and like it is in wells all around this area. So they've been a great resource to me, and I contacted Krista Reeves, and because she had been looking for a truck, like the model truck, and kind of have an open house day at a DPW, and that, everybody could go, the heads could go and check out, the spiffy new equipment and technology that's on the trucks. She has not been able to locate one in New Jersey or the tri-state area. The only organization, and it was a grassroots group that started it, is this Wisconsin Saltwise. And they have a whole campaign, and they have amazing webinars every week. They put up in all the stores, shovel more, salt less, help keep fresh water fresh. This is like a campaign. This is from Madison, Wisconsin, and the university students went out and put this in all of the windows. They have, right now, they're having a Winter Salt Awareness Week, and it's going to be live streamed January 22nd through 26th, all sorts of activities through the town. And they have Wednesday webinars, and there's a fellow on the Wednesday webinar who looks like he could possibly, but he's from Wisconsin, talk to our DPW if we needed him to. And then they're having, they had on December 13th on the Cutting Edge, they had speakers that discussed the latest and greatest in snow fighting technologies. So these are, I remembered what you said, and I did my research right away, trying to find somebody who could connect with our DPW from another DPW, and this is as far as I got.
No, but that might be, it doesn't have to be in New Jersey, right? Like, it could be in Wisconsin. It always could be virtual. So maybe it's that we do the SALT study and we try to get the 10 points by doing the inventory. And then from the inventory, we'll learn where the needs are and then we can see if that Wisconsin contact would be a good possibility.
Well, I would strongly suggest before,
I live at Mohawk, and I see them using a lot of salt on their roads. Could you get that information to the country club, Lake Mohawk Country Club?
I would certainly like to invite the Lake Mohawk Association to participate in the road salt study, and I can give them at a meeting a little presentation on how they can sign up and get started.
I think that should be something that we should really do, because I agree, like, I think 2 weeks ago, 40 degrees, there's a huge ice right by the storm drain, and I saw truck pulling with the salt, spreading so much salt, and it was sunny day. The ice would melt no matter what. They sprayed so much salt into that drain, basically, that it was just...
Yeah, it's just it's killing the wildlife. It really is.
Yep.
But
I think Dan was going to say something.
oh,
sorry.
Dan.
I'm sorry, I was just going to suggest that I would not commit to any actions or resources for the DPW without first going through Jim Zepp, because that's his department and his resources and people. And so I wouldn't make any commitments for training, inspections, or whatever without going through him, because those are his people and he needs to manage those.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I was thinking of actually taking this to the town manager and showing him the 4 options we have for activities, and explaining that we would like to get 15 points, and perhaps he could provide a strategy for
Yep,
us.
I'm sure he'll work with you very well, but like I said, you can't go around the boss. You got to go through the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks.
So I guess that's pretty much it. We're off to a start. Did you want to go to the website now and order your strips? Those of you I gave a cup that haven't ordered your strips yet?
Can we keep going with the meeting and do it after we adjourn?
Sure.
Those who want to do that? Okay, thank you. All right. Any other questions for Christine? All right, the Green Business Initiative. So I do want to give the presentation at the BDC meeting, Christine. So whenever that does happen, I need to get on the schedule, probably not the first meeting, but maybe the second one, to talk about our Green Business Initiative. I think I've shared in the past that I've been speaking at the Sussex County Chamber meetings, Sparta Business Chamber meeting. I also went to the BNI, which is the Business Networking Institute or something like that, which also meets in Sparta, and shared the information. I've spoken to several different, businesses in town. Neil has spoken to some folks too. So we're just going to keep the effort going. You said that if we can't get the 3 people to sign up, we can use the money for something else, is what they said. Okay.
They'll work with us to do that, yes.
Yeah, so I think the deadline is May 31st, so we'll keep plugging
Yeah.
away here until, give another month or two, right?
Right,
Okay.
yes. And I did get, Michaela did register on the
Oh,
the
good.
New Jersey.
All right, 1 down,
Yeah.
yay. Awesome.
We need 2 more, right?
Yeah, 2 more. That's great.
So is this information available anywhere, like regarding the Green Business Initiative, like on the website or anywhere?
No, so what the Green Business Initiative is we applied for a grant to have a promotion of green businesses in Sparta. And in order to be considered a green business, you might think only like a solar farm or a farm could be a green business, but there are other ways that you might be a green business without being officially like only doing vegan food or something like that. So like grocery store could be a green business if they have some initiatives to protect the environment, like they've changed every light in their facility to LED, or they've put in those, those shields to keep the freezer air in the freezers. So there's lots of ways that any business could be considered a green business.
So where the business
And-
and where they can find the information?
Right, so we've been promoting it. I've been taking the information about how to register with the
Oh, okay.
Sustainable New Jersey out to different organizations. I've emailed a lot of the businesses in town, and we've been speaking about it here.
Okay.
So that's how they know. And so they go register at Sustainable New Jersey, and then that's one of the organizations that we would promote.
Okay.
Okay, we already covered the student liaison information. Sparta Glen Arbor Day events.
Okay, so for everyone who's new, this is an event that we applied for a grant from ANJAC that was successful. And what I put in the grant proposal was that we would be working to plant trees in the Sparta Glen to replace those trees that were infected with the emerald ash borer. And that caused those trees to need to be cut down just from a public safety standpoint. So what we're doing is hosting a one-day event for students in Sparta where they're going to come as a field trip during the school day on Friday, April 26th, which is actually Arbor Day. They're going to come to the Glen. They're going to learn about the emerald ash borer. They're going to help us plant trees, highlighting invasive species and the importance of native species. And then there's going to be different stations that they're going to rotate through to get them engaged for the entire day. So some of the other ideas that I wanted to run by the rest of the Environmental Commission were that in addition to the tree planting, we would do some in-stream and macroinvertebrate lessons. And Ethan is willing to do that and come to the event to participate as the America Watershed Ambassador for the Walk Hill Watershed. And then I also was thinking that we would have other stations highlighting the importance of trees for cooling the water temperature and for stormwater type management. So highlighting some of the multiple benefits of trees to that park system in addition to habitat. And then I thought we can even have one rotation focused on hiking up some of the trails at the Glen to really highlight for the students that there's a lot to do in their township park and getting them engaged. So that's the idea right now. So far, the Sparta Middle School Environmental Club, they are interested in attending. And then, so depending on the size of how many students are going to be coming from that group, we will be moving forward with getting a couple other clubs to participate. But I hope everyone can come. Anyone is welcome to join us, and it should be a fun day. The plan right now is that it would run from like 9 o'clock in the morning, the students would arrive, and it would end around 2 o'clock to coincide with the end of the school day.
A couple of points about the tree planting, and I think that's vitally important, especially in this area. And if you think back since Hurricane Sandy in 2012, I think it was, between that event, there was a couple of years later, we had a series of ice storms, and then the Emerald Ash Borer. Between those three events, we wiped out a ton of trees. Like you see it in my neighborhood, it looks like a third or a half of the trees are gone. Tree planting is very important, and that's, I would like to see us at some point, the township expand on that and have a township-wide effort to do that. But one thing to note about tree planting is a large percentage, and it's over 90% of trees that are planted in these, brand new trees that are planted don't make it. Because they do need care, you plant them and the deer snips them off and they're gone, or they're not watered or something. So any tree planting effort should come with some kind of and I don't know what the answer is. I'm not smart enough to know, but we have to figure out how to care for the trees once they're in the ground. If it's checking on them, if it's a protective sheath. I don't know. I'm sure there are smarter people than me that have thought of that, but. That should go along with tree planting as well.
Yeah, and that was actually included as part of the grant.
Oh, perfect.
There's the organization that I work for is the Walk Hill River Watershed
So
Management
you know
Group.
much more about this
So
than I
they're
do.
going to, our organization is taking tree tubes that were recycled from other planting events and donating them to this project. So each tree that's planted will have a protective cover so that they won't be eaten
Snipped
by the
off.
deer or also hit by any weed whackers for, park workers who are helping.
Okay, thanks. I'm glad you thought. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Sorry. I saw YouTube videos. What I
Yeah.
what I
No,
did.
because you want to protect them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they get eaten. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
What we could do, because we do have so many new members, we'll send out that Green Business Initiative. We'll send the grant out, and this way everybody has everything.
Oh,
and
very
catch
good
you guys
idea.
all on board.
Thank you, Michelle, for that idea. Anything else on that one?
Oh, I guess the one thing I forgot to mention is that the other group that I would like to invite would be Trout Unlimited, because they helped with the initial restoration work in the Glen back in 2016. So this will be a nice way to highlight the project and also to maybe talk about fishing or trout and the importance of cool water temperatures for trout habitat.
You know that if they have a new leader.
Yes, yes.
All right.
And I talked to Dean about it too on the side.
Awesome. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. All right. New business, we are getting a new secretary.
So under new business, for those of you who don't know, I'm Michelle Lantow, your new people, or new members, and I am going to be handing this over to Christine Casco. Christine is a perfect fit, I think, for Environmental Commission. She works over in the Planning and Zoning Department, so when you guys are, she'll have the application and everything ready for when you review. Possibly could even, if there's any questions and stuff. She is also the secretary to the new business,
Development Committee.
thank you, business development. So please, I hope you guys will welcome Christine Casco as your new Environmental Commission Secretary. And I will be here with her, and helping her, with getting minutes and everything else done. But I am not here your next meeting. I will be in Maine and not thinking about you guys. now. But I will be working with her closely. I'm not just, cutting everybody off. But I do appreciate the time that I've spent with all of you. As you know, I was there and then I was off and then I'm back on, so, I do enjoy listening and I learn a lot from everyone.
Thank you, Michelle, for all your support, and welcome, Christine.
Thank you.
Another Christine. We're gonna have to come up with a strategy.
And yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything, please feel free to email me.
Yeah, she's on the CC if you haven't noticed.
Okay,
Oh.
perfect. I was gonna say, oh shoot, another email I gotta figure out. All right, awesome.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Any other new business that didn't make the agenda that anyone wants to bring up?
I will mention one thing that I probably should mention in the council update is that our our household waste recycling and pickup renews this year. I think March 31st is our 3-year contract. With the change in the administration and the length of time it takes to put a bid together, there's one issue, one thing I wanted to be a part of that bid, and unfortunately the complexity we didn't have enough time to fit that in due to the complexity of it, and that was I wanted a pay as you throw option, whereas so right now we get 2 pickups of 2 cans, 2 pickups a week for 4 cans. I can't remember what the size of the can is, 50 gallons or whatever cans a week. There are some towns. There's one councilwoman I spoke with in, I want to say it was Chatham, that has 3 sizes. So you have like the blue, the green, and the red can. And so if you only use 1 can once a week, like our household does, rather than pay the same amount that everybody else did, you would just pay a lower tier price. So unfortunately, that didn't make it into the bid for this year. So if we want to introduce that, we'll have to wait another 3-year cycle. On the positive note, it looks like we are taking steps to make sure that the rates are going to be very much in line with what we're paying right now, and so which is unheard of. Right now, we have almost an obscenely low. I shouldn't say that on camera. we have very low. We enjoy very good rates for our household pickup. And it looks like we're going to continue very close to that. The bids aren't in yet, but I think it's looking good. One thing that we probably will have to give up is single stream. And I think almost every town in New Jersey is going away from single stream into now it'll be dual stream going forward. So you'll have to separate paper from everything else. That is very common, and you're right. It's also much better because when you commingle paper with other stuff, bad things happen. You can't recycle wet paper, so that's why every can should have a lid on it. Hardly anybody does. But in any case, there are lots of benefits to having dual stream. But one program that's still on the table, which I'm trying to work with Deputy Mayor Blumetti, is food waste recycling. There are lots of challenges to food waste recycling, and there are no simple options. And we've looked at a lot of things, and it's hard to contain it, to bring it somewhere, the smell, keeping the stream clean. Again, there's no easy answers there, but it's something we're still working with.
It's also a huge source of greenhouse
It would be very beneficial for the town. So as I mentioned earlier, if we can find focus on the big rocks that we could do for helping the environment, I think that's one of the big rocks. Anyway, it's still open. It'll take some time to explore. Newton has a food waste recycling program. I did speak with the person in charge of that program in Newton. I don't think what they do is a good fit for what we do. But it's a good start what they have. But anyway, on the list.
Awesome.
Great.
So March of 27 is when we got to be ready, or prior to March of 3-year contract, you said?
Probably, I think it'll be a 3-year contract. Again, it's out to bid right now. I don't know, the bids haven't been received yet. We've been sort of talking with different vendors on some options. But I think our current contract expires at the end of March.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any other new business?
Do we have to officially discuss like what Ethan brought up about the rain barrel workshop idea? Like if he wanted to partner with our commission, do we have to discuss it at all?
Yeah, once we made a plan, if we wanted to bring the plan back, yeah, we should officially discuss it. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about. I definitely want to do that one. I want to get a rain barrel. I want to do
do
it and
too.
have the workshop.
Yeah,
and
no, I was
everything.
just wondering if at today's meeting, we can at least say that we're generally, if we're supportive of
Oh,
it and,
Yes.
give him the charge to go back and come back with
I
some more
think so.
details.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah. Okay.
So what does the contours of that even look like? That will drop off a rain barrel at if your house, if you want to participate in this program, you get a rain barrel, and then you install it as part of your gutter system, your leader system, and then like I'm just trying to conceptually figure out what does it look like. I mean, I know what a rain barrel is, but I'm trying to figure out how it fits into your household system.
You would.
Maybe you can. Is that? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not
No,
gonna take over.
Go ahead.
I can talk on that. So
Talk me
on
through the
s-
process.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
a
So
rain barrel. What do I
first,
do?
we would just figure out a public location for community members to meet to create rain barrels. I can provide the power tools and the rain barrels. All I would need would be the materials like the faucets to go on them. So that can be bought relatively cheaply. And then also I would need to figure out how to transport the rain barrels to that location. Once they finish constructing the rain barrels, they take it back to their house and hook it up to a drainage pipe, and then that collects water. How the barrels are made is in a way where it fills out directly from rainwater from the roof, and then there's a overflow hole at the top for it to come out, and just so it doesn't overflow.
Right, and it'll continue into your discharge system.
Yeah.
Once it fills, you've created
Can-
your 100 gallons or whatever like that, and once it's filled, it goes back into your discharge, whatever.
Yeah. We usually have it go like in front of the rain barrel so it doesn't go into the homeowner's like basement or whatever.
And now it's
And it can
covered, so I
also-
don't get mosquitoes and stuff like that.
Right. There's a film cover and a basket to prevent like mosquitoes from setting up shop.
And now that I've got this water in this barrel, there's a tap, a spigot or something?
Yes,
or
yeah, at the
I
bottom
can
of
use it to water things, or?
Yeah, you can hook up a hose to the spigot at the bottom, or just get water directly from there and fill up a watering barrel.
If you have any literature on that, can you send it to us?
Of
or-
course, yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Thank you.
Could I get your email after the meeting adjourns, or
Do you have- is there lit-
or is it-
isn't there
is there-
environment?
Yeah.
is it on the
It's on the website.
on the website? Okay, I just want me to send it to all of you.
I think we have a
Please.
common email address, like.
Is it a common?
Send it to environmental at, what's the at?
Sparta.
SpartaNJ.net.
SpartaNJ.com.
We'll
.net.
make sure that it goes to the council.
Yeah, we
to
can
the
distribute it.
So
members.
environmental@spartanj.net.
Okay.
Actually,
No, I think so.
actually, .net and .org both work.
Org,
Oh,
right?
they do?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, I didn't know.
One resolves to the other.
Oh,
Great. All right, anything else?
No.
Welcome to our new members and our new secretary, so exciting.
Okay.
You can send it to me and I can get it there if you want to.
Great. Thanks.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, thank you very much. All in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
And please see me if you want to sign up for those test strips before you leave.
This looks like a urine.
Yeah, what's the website? And
It,
then I'll.
It's new